What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. Today I'm going to be discussing the rollout method that I think is going to be used on The Party Never Ends, which should hopefully be releasing this summer. But before we do start, I do want to give a shout out to the second channel, Complex 2. A link to that will be in the description down below. Also want to give a big shout out to all channel members that support me through that. And lastly, make sure to follow me over on Instagram at Complex Productions 999 and my Twitter at Complex Discuss. With all this being said, we're going to dive on into this. Alright, so now that we're sitting at almost halfway through April and we haven't really heard a lot about The Party Never Ends as of recently, I do want to kind of break down and just try and keep you guys updated and let you know my current thoughts on where we're sitting at with the album. So I want to make it very clear that Grade A is obviously working with a new artist who's ZZZ Sam, and that might be kind of playing a fact in why we're not hearing a lot about The Party Never Ends right now. I'm not saying that's a bad thing either. I really like Z and I think his sound is really unique and cool, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do with him, and I actually have a video on that dropping tomorrow, but that's besides the point for right now. I think that might be why we haven't heard just as much as we were hearing about the whole Juice The Party Never Ends situation, but don't forget that they're still working on it. Bibby obviously just played On Time the other night. They obviously are still working on Juice stuff, and this album is definitely coming along together pretty well, I feel like, at least I hope. But I do want to go ahead and just give my thoughts kind of on when I think the single is going to release and kind of what I think it's going to be. Now, I think that there's a few options that the label could take for this single. Now, obviously I've already discussed a lot of these things in a previous videos, but I think at this point some of the best single options, you guys already know this, I think would be something like GoPro, Rental, Biscotti, Gamble, Toxic Humans. I think that all five of those would be great lead singles to The Party Never Ends. Now, don't get me wrong, Toxic Humans is not a song that I would want as a single for an album that's supposed to be hype, but I do think Toxic Humans is going to release on this project, and I think that the single for the album is going to be releasing hopefully sometime this month, if not next. Now, the reason I really want it to release this month is because I think that if we get a lead single sometime in April and then maybe another single sometime in May, that might mean that we're still going to get The Party Never Ends in June. That's why I really want an April lead single, and I feel like that because April is kind of the kickoff to spring, this would be the perfect time to drop a single to kind of hype up this hype Juice album that's supposed to be a summer album. At least that's kind of just how I'm thinking about it, and I do think that honestly out of those 5 singles, the best choice would probably be Gamble, because that would not only satisfy the community during this time where we're not really getting a lot of leaks, but obviously that song's probably going to have a feature on it as well, so I think it would just be a great lead single to The Party Never Ends. Personally, I would want Biscotti, but I can completely see where they're coming from by wanting to use Gamble to kind of hype everyone up and just drop that on the mainstream and the community. So let's just say we do get a single in April. I think that if that is the case, and then we do get a follow-up single in May, whether that ends up being like Biscotti, GoPro, whatever that is, I think that that would literally gear us up for the album to release in June. And obviously there's a few Fridays in June that would probably be good times to release it, but I'm hoping that maybe by the second or third week of June there will be enough singles out, enough promotion out, everyone will know that the album's coming, that we could get it around that time. And I do hope we get a track list for the album as well, so we can kind of experience and just see what kind of vibes the label's going for. If we do end up getting stuff like Toxic Humans on The Party Never Ends, it's going to be a little bit different than what I was expecting, because preferably I would want The Party Never Ends to be mainly hype songs. And if this is going to be Juice's last album, and obviously I have a full video breaking down why I think this might be Juice's last album, you don't have to agree with me on that, but I will leave it linked if you want to see that. But if this is going to be Juice's last actual album or posthumous album that they do for him, I think that it should pretty much be strictly hype songs, minus maybe getting stuff like Toxic Humans and stuff, just because those are grails in the community that aren't leaked. And maybe even something like Forget Me Not, I would be completely fine with those songs being on the album, even though they're not hype. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you think we're going to get the single soon? What do you think the single is? Let me know in the comments down below. And as usual guys, as we get any kind of news or anything regarding the album, I will get my video out on that as soon as possible. But with all this being said, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.